What's going on, guys? This is Mike with the 1% Mindset Podcast. I hope you're doing absolutely amazing as per usual. First and foremost, happy New Year. Happy 2022. I hope you've moved into the new year with a plan, with conviction, with understanding of what it is that you want, that you said you want for this upcoming year. It's interesting because, for me, nothing actually changes as we move into a new year. Nothing changes, right? The feeling may be different, right? We may go in and say, oh, it's a new year, so it's a new moment. I can't wait for this year to end so I can start a new year. Whatever it is, once January starts, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to fix this relationship, whatever it is, right? And it's interesting because every moment is a new moment, right? So I'm going to call BS on this new year, new me, right? Because innately, you're going to be who you were yesterday if something doesn't change in this very moment. Right? You can preach about it all you want, but they always say that, actions are better than words, right? And sometimes I have to call you out on your stuff for you to actually hear me, right? The nice guy, you can do it, the motivation, the inspiration. Sometimes it doesn't work because you're just not listening, right? You feel good for the moment, but it's not until consequences come or something gets taken away that you really start to get it, right? Why is that? Why does it have to take something so crazy for you to be like, man, I got to tap in, right? And I think about that. And again, I love doing these podcasts because it's my way of journaling what's actually going on. Sometimes with me, sometimes what I hear with clients, with other people, whatever that looks like, it's my way of figuring out what's actually happening, right? But it can take things. I'll give you a great example, right? I want to say it's 2015. So about 6 years ago, or I think it was 2014. At the end of 2014, I left the corporate job that I had. Excuse me. And I was like, man, I want to get into entrepreneurship. Trying a couple different things. Wasn't really making the true sacrifice. And it wasn't until I saw like, wow, I really have no money, no savings, no backup plan. It wasn't until I saw I had nothing for the most part that I was like, oh man, I have to get on the grind. Right? Why does it have to take something catastrophic for you to get on the grind, for you to fix your relationships, for you to appreciate somebody, for you to give someone their flowers? Why does it have to take a major change? What happens to the shift in the moment, being present and understanding what happened? Right? So I'm going to call you out. I'm going to call you out and call BS because it's important you don't want a change of a year for it to go from 21 to 22 for you to make a change. Why? Because that doesn't actually change anything. What's going to actually make you change? What's going to require change? And it has to hurt bad enough. There has to be a consequence or sacrifice for it to actually work for most people. Why? Because you're so comfortable in it, right? The pain, excuse me, let me rephrase that, right? Because this is, you're comfortable in pain because it's familiar. So the art of change and stretch is scary to you, so you won't do it. So you rather suffer. You rather suffer in familiarity than be scared and change. How crazy is that? Right? So I'm calling you out. And it's okay, right? I got called out, right? I like to give real life examples. I'm learning, and I've been speaking about this on my previous podcast, and I'm actually like in the trenches, learning a new skill set. And my mentor said, you have to journal. I need to see what's happening. You have to journal. And, I kind of BS it. I'm not showing anything. It's a little off. And he said, you know what? I've spoken to you about this 2, 3 times, 4 times, probably more. This is the last time I'm going to speak to you about this. because if this doesn't change, it's never going to. So I'm going to stop responding until I see a journal of actual effort, of actual time, of things that you're actually doing. Because without that, we don't need to have a conversation. I can no longer be nice because it's not working. I'm no longer wasting my time. What did he called me out. Sometimes you have to get called out on your BS in order for something to change. Right? I'm tired of hearing, I'm tired of seeing, I'm tired of experiencing this new year, new me, and nothing changes. Right? Because it's not a new year that's going to change who you are. It doesn't take that. If that was the case, why is every year specifically the same? Why does the stats remain the exact same on people in the gym? Why does the stats remain the exact same on people who join my book club early on and don't finish out the year? Why are the stats the same every single time? There's a reason for that. Because you are going to be who you are unless you desire to change. And not the new year, not a new time. Some people, again, it's unfortunate, but it's typically catastrophic. It's something major, right? It doesn't have to be bad, something major, right? I talked to one of my boys, it was him having his daughter, right? Like he had a son already, but really when his daughter was born, there was a switch for him. Something major, right? Someone had cancer, right? Saw like, man, my life could be over. Catastrophic, something major. It shouldn't take something major to require a shift of something that you said that you want. Not me, something that you want. Right? So if I need to call you out each and every single time, whether that if you're personally working one-on-one with me and I'm coaching you, I'm done. I'm done giving you yo, you can do it. No, there's a space of realness that has to happen for you to take action. And if I'm doing you a disservice by telling you it's all good, keep moving, pushing for it. No, it's something, if you want to do it, you're going to get it done. And the consequence has to be big enough for you to actually make a change if this is something habitual that you haven't been doing. Right? I haven't journaled. Right? So what's happening to me? Hey, somebody who I look up to, someone that's mentoring me, that, again, I think it's important to pay for mentorship, that I've been paying for. He said, I don't even want to speak to you. We don't have anything until I see something in the journal, then we can't have a conversation because there's nothing to speak about. Consequence, actions, right? Consequence that hurts bad enough will start to require change. Literally, it will start to require change. And until you're willing to change, nothing will happen. So guess what? I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out. What will it take for a constant? What will change for you to have constant success in what it is that you want? What's going to be consistent about that, man? Right? I said there's certain things that I wanted. Right? When I dropped the Mental Jolt podcast, I said, hey, I want to go straight. I want to do 100 episodes. Right? And I want to be consistent Monday through Friday because this is my journal. This is my space. This is how I am going to have the success that I want. And this is going to require a different level. It was constant. 105 straight episodes. I decided, hey, let me take a break for a week going into the holidays, right? 'Cause obviously, I said Happy New Year. I'm recording this before. Because come January 1st, when I get back on this, it's going to be constant again. It's going to be consistent. Right? When it's time to take a break, I will take a break. But it's not because I don't want to do it or I'm too... No, it's going to be when it's time to rejuvenate. But too many of you are using the excuse of I'm tired, I want to rejuvenate. Things are as an excuse to not do because you just don't feel like it. And it's fine. If you don't want to do it, cool. I'm not going to force anyone to do it, but don't tell me you want certain results and you're not willing to be consistent enough to put in the work to get it done. And don't preach that that's something that you do, and you're not living up to that same thing. It's impossible. It's impossible to say something and not do it. You're a walking contradictory. You're a walking contradiction. It's as simple as that. If you want to be a walking contradiction, that's cool. But that's not people that I want in my space. That's not somebody that you should want in your space. That's not the human being you should want to be. It's just not. So picture this or use this podcast as a wake-up call, as a way for me to say, you're being watched. Everything that you said you wanted, it's being watched. And if you're not doing it, you're getting called out. And it may not be externally from someone, but hopefully your internal eats you alive and it calls you out. So your gut, it calls you out so much where you're like, damn, am I really who I say I am? And it eats you up and you can't sleep because it's important that this stops now. I don't want to see new year, new me. I want to see what you're doing in January. You have that same energy in August. That same energy going through the entire year. And you start to analyze what you've been doing quarterly. For some people, it needs to be monthly. But sometimes quarterly is like, man, I hit these goals. What's the next goal for the next quarter? Because it's only going to show up ugly for you. Right? For other people, they'll fight their own demons. They'll do what they want. But for you, it should hurt because it's what you said you wanted. Right? So this podcast today, when you're listening, as you're listening, I know that there's some things that you're missing. Some things that you said that you were going to do. Some things that stopped. So guess what I'm doing? I'm calling you out. Not in a nice way, but in a loving way. It's not to be mean, but it's to be real. You have the opportunity to make change, to be consistent, to be effective, and not just lip service, but being real and being a constant catalyst of change for who it is that you want to become each and every single day. So you're being called out. Of course. Well, before I go, I'll say, definitely tune into the Mental Jolt podcast, Monday through Friday, each and every single morning. It drops a little bit before 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Mental Jolt podcast. Look out for it Monday through Friday. As per usual, I love you guys. Peace.